Hello everyone, Ben here with a solo game of Gaia Project. In the solo game, it's set up pretty much similarly to a two-player game. So you have your 7 sectors, like so, and then you have your end-of-game scoring tracks with a third dummy player just to add competition to the end-of-game scoring there. Your player board is set up as normal, and the research tracks are also set up as normal, with possible advances if either your board or your AI opponent's card shows the relevant track advancements there. So that's all been done. You get to go first in the solo game in the first round anyway, which means that the AI will place out their mines first, which may dictate where you place out your mines afterwards, and will also grab a round booster first, which will also probably dictate what you go for with your round booster. And then once that's all done with, we go into the proper rounds, and there are 6 rounds throughout the game, and each round has a set phase order. So you have the Gaia phase, which we can safely ignore in the first round anyway, because we have no planets that we were going to try and Gaia form into Gaia planets, and we have no power in our Gaia bowl here to move across to our regular power bowls. So we can safely ignore the Gaia phase for round 1, and then we do definitely the income phase, and then we'll move on to the action phase and then do a bit of cleanup. So income phase, similar to Terra Mystica, if you've ever played it. Any symbol you've got with the face-up palm up hand, however you want to describe it, any symbol of that will give you that particular resource in income. And this can be on round boosters, on your player board, or even on the research tracks if you are sufficiently researched. So in our income phase then we're going to get 1 ore there, 3 ore from our mines, and 2 knowledge, and I think that's probably it. Yep, okay. So 4 ore in total to 7, and 2 knowledge up to 4, and yep, that looks about right. Okay. So the AI does not spend resources when it builds anything, or any other time during the game, so therefore it does not generate resources during the income phase, and we can safely ignore that bit for the AI. Then we come to the action phase, and again, similar to Terra Mystica, you have a range of actions you can do, and you can pretty much do them one after another as much as you like until you wish to pass, and then once everyone has passed, you go into round end. So we get to go first, and at the start of the game we have end of game goals being satellites and lots of buildings. So basically nothing that we weren't going to do anyway. Okay. And the round bonus is when you build a federation you get 5 points. So basically towns in Terra Mystica are now federations in Gaia Project, and I don't think we're going to be able to grab enough buildings worth to be able to do a federation, so that's probably not much of an objective at the moment. So instead we want to be doing what? Yes, very good question actually. We've got sufficient knowledge, we can do 1 knowledge upgrade, and we've got sufficient resources, we can probably do a building of some kind, maybe a couple. Unfortunately, we are not within range. Well, so at the moment at the beginning of the game our range is 1, which means that we can build directly next to where we start out from. We would like at least a range of 2, so that might be what we put our knowledge towards, is increasing our range. So range, the ability to terraform planets, and Gaia form and various other bits and pieces are determined by your level on your research track. So actually what we may very well do, in fact, then is indeed is increase our range, or at least start to increase our range, hopefully, so we can move out later on. So we'll move the marker up, and we'll spend the 4 knowledge in order to do so. And anytime you move up one of your research markers and you come across a space with a particular resource with a kind of white star on it, that just indicates you get that one time only resource bonus, and that is it. So we get a QIC for doing that, and that may very well come in handy, well, fairly immediately actually. Okay, so we'll do that anyway. And that was an action, so it comes to the AI now. And the AI has a constructed deck of cards, basically, with which to do actions. So you have a set number of cards at the start, and a random one from the remaining deck, all shuffled together, and then you will turn the bottom 3 of them perpendicular, like so. And these bottom 3 are possible passing cards when they come up that will end the AI's round. But we'll see how that works when we get to it. For the time being, at the start of the game, you need 2 cards drawn, one of which is going to be an action for the AI, and then one of which is a support card, I believe it's called, which basically has parameters for how the AI will do its particular action. So at the moment, its action is going to be an upgrade, and it has a hierarchy it wants to upgrade to. So first of all, it obviously wants to go for a Planetary Institute, which it can't because it doesn't have the required prerequisite building. And then secondly, it wants to do a trading post, which it definitely can do. So we'll grab a trading post from the AI supply, and it has 2 buildings it can turn into trading posts. So the flow chart of AI decisions is basically which one is closest to opponent buildings, i.e. yours, and then you go through a directional tiebreak as well, based on the parameters, if there are equal choices. However, it looks like this one is definitely closest, because it's pretty much next to an existing building of ours, so that one will get upgraded, like so. When an AI does an action on a card, it will get a certain number of points based on what the card tells you. So it's going to get 1 point, and then because it upgraded a building next to us, well, because it either built or upgraded next to us, we get a power bonus. And the power bonus, again similarly to Terra Mystica, or slightly different in this case actually, is you check your highest level building, and in this case we just have a mine, that is within range of the relevant building being upgraded or placed, and then you will take the power level of that building in power, moving around your bowls, at a cost of X minus 1 victory points. So this mine, is 1 power as per, you can probably just about see it, as per the icon on the board. And then higher tier buildings are more and more power as we go up. So the mine is being affected, and we can get 1 power moving around our bowls at a cost of 0 points, which there's no reason why you wouldn't take it, so we may as well. And that is that. So that would be the AI's turn over with. Yep, I believe so. Some AI factions will get certain abilities when they do various actions. As you can see here, the ongoing ability for this particular AI faction is when it builds onto a new planet type, it will get 2 points. Okay, so I'll have to keep that in mind for future actions. So that was the AI, and then back to us, and so we don't have sufficient range at the moment to move out. We do have some QICs, which are kind of wild resource, and they can be used to increase our range, which is quite handy. Unfortunately, we don't have any grey planets sufficiently within a possible increased range in order to build onto. We do have some white ones we could possibly terraform, though. So yeah, let's probably do that then. I think we might have enough resources for all of that. So if we spend a QIC, one of the available actions that you can, free actions that you can do, is increase your range by 2. So we have a default range of 1 at the start, and this will become a range of 3. So in that case then, if we jump up here with our new range and we build onto that particular planet, it is a white planet, so it is going to require terraforming. It's not our home territory, and it's going to require a terraforming step of 1. Do you want to do that, or do you want to hold off until next round, when any terraforming steps we do will get us 2 points? I think we could still make that work next round as well for some bonus points. So we'll do it this round as well. So we will still go ahead onto that white planet, and we need a terraforming step of 1, and at the beginning of the game, when we do a terraform, it's going to cost us 3 ore. As we increase our terraforming track, it will cost less and less ore as we go up. So you need to spend 3 ore to terraform. 1, 2, 3. And then in order to actually build the mine out onto the relevant planet, we need to spend 2 gold and a further ore as per the building cost. And that will plonk out a mine over there. Okay, so that's fine. And that is that. So that was an action in itself. And then we're back to the AI. So now the rightmost card just gets discarded to a discard pile. The other one slides across, and then we get a new one out, and this will be a new action for the AI to do. So now it is going to upgrade its highest level research track, which at the moment is going to be that one, I believe. Yep, so that one has got 1 extra space, and it gets a point for doing so, like so. Okay, fair enough. Back to us, and we could probably do an upgrade into a trading post, and that would be about it, I suspect, for our actions. So yeah, we'll do that. So we have a trading post we can place out, and this is going to cost, so there is a variable gold cost for it. 3 is the cheapest, and 6 is obviously the most expensive. If you are within range of an opponent's building, range being 2 spaces, then you get the cheaper gold cost, otherwise you have to pay more. We do have several buildings that are within range of an opponent's building, so we can build, or we can upgrade either of them basically for a cheaper cost. And probably this one, I think. Sure, we'll do that. Actually, we might do that one. Yeah, because then this building will still be within range of this if it possibly upgrades, and therefore we'd get 1 extra power for 0 victory points, whereas if we upgraded this to the trading post, we would get 2 extra power, but we would have to pay a victory point. So I fancy the idea of possibly getting a free power if that happens, so we'll do it that way around instead. And we'll put the mine back, and we had to spend 3 gold and 2 ore. Yep, okay. And then back to the AI, like so. And it is going to do just a general research track upgrade. So this now has several options it can do, and the tie break in this case is going to be 2 from the left. So 1, 2, and it will just push that one up, like so. And it won't get any points for it. Did I give it a point last turn? So it would have had a point from this card, and a point from that card, and yeah, so I think it's okay on points at the moment, so that's fine. And then back to us, and we have some gold, a fair amount of gold to be honest, not too many ore, and not a lot else. We could sacrifice some power to get a couple of power around anyway, but there's not a whole lot we can do with just 2 power in the third bowl, so it is probably time to pass. Yeah, I think so. So we'll definitely pass now. We'll maintain first player, so the first player in a regular game who passes will keep first player, and then we can choose a new round booster from the 3 available. So you don't put yours back first, you have to choose a new one first, so you can't basically choose the same one twice. And well, it's unlikely we're going to get colonizing Gaia planets, so that's probably not much use. It's unlikely we're going to be able to build our planetary institute or academies, so there's no 4 points for that one. So I think we'll just grab this one, which gives us an ore and a knowledge as income, so that'll be fine. Then your previous round boost goes back, and in our case we will get 1 point for every mine we have built. So we're going to get 2 points, I believe. We have 2 mines left out. Yep, that's fine. So we'll get 2 points for that. Okay, and then the new round booster just goes there to wait for next round. Back to the eye, which will still keep going even if you've passed. And oh, it will pass as well. So we have reached the bottom 3 cards of the deck, and you can tell which ones they are because they've been turned sideways. When you get to the bottom 3, if a card that you draw as an action card has a red X on it, this means that the AI just basically passes then and doesn't do any further actions. So it won't do this action, and it won't get points from this particular card. So it will now pass, so it's a good job we passed before it, so we managed to get first player still. And then it will check the round bonus and apply the relevant round to the tile and see if it gets any points from it. So we're in round 1, end of anyway, so it gets 0 points. If we were in 4, 5 or 6, then we get 5 points, but I am quite happy to give the AI 0 points there. So I won't get any points for that. And then it will pick a new round booster, again determined by the relevant card that came up. So it is going to be the middle round booster that it will grab as per what shown on the card. So middle one there, and the other one goes back. And when you place round boosters back, both yourself and the AI, they always have to go to the right of the ones that are still out there. Then we get to reset the AI deck. So all of its cards, discarded cards, action cards, and so on, and the ones that haven't yet been picked, will go into a pile, and then you'll add to that pile 1 extra one from the cards that have not been chosen yet. Then you shuffle this up, and I'll do a quick shuffle, and reset it for the next round. So we need to give it a shuffle, and then we need to turn the bottom 3 cards sideways again so you can tell which ones they are. And then that will be the new AI deck for this round. Okay, so that has been set up like so. And then we do the new round, so again, Gaia phase, of which we can safely ignore. Yep, no Gaia formers, no power in the relevant bowl, so you can do nothing with that. Then we do income, and we're going to get a fair amount now. 1 ore from that, 3 from our mines, so 4 ore up to 5. 1 knowledge plus a further 2 is 3 knowledge. Okay, and then 3 money from our trading posts. 1, 2, 3. So still a healthy amount of money there, I think. Okay. The AI doesn't get anything for its income, and then we do actions. So we have the first action to do, and as I said, the round bonus this time is if you terraform, you get 2 points. Now, is it worth doing that? Because we could spend 3 ore to terraform, and that would leave us not a whole lot for next round, or even this round with which to do stuff. Looking at next round, when we build a trading post, we get 3 points as a bonus. So it might be worth saving up resources and doing that instead. Yeah, possibly. Okay, how's that going to work then? How's that going to work if we have to terraform still? Well, looking at our chart, brown planets and white planets require the least amount of terraforming steps. We have a brown planet over here. We have a brown planet over here. That's within 2 range, so we can possibly get to those, and we have several over here. Okay, so we have some that we can get to if we can increase our range to 2. That's not too bad. Can we increase our range then? Well, the answer to that is we have a QIC with which to do it, and we may very well, yeah, so we'll have enough knowledge next round as well to boost this up sufficiently that we can then use a knowledge increase and also increase our range. So we'll definitely have enough range next turn. So it's just now a question of being able to get enough ore, and yeah, ore is definitely going to hold us back because it's going to require 3 ore per terraforming step. So next round we're going to get a further 3 ore at least, which will bring us up to 8. So we'd have enough to do 1 terraform and a trading post upgrade. Well, possibly 2 trading post upgrades then on sufficient locations where we already are. So yeah, we could do that. Or we could do... Well, actually, no. It probably behooves us to do a terraform now and get the bonus points for it, and then the mine can just sit there until next turn, and then we can upgrade it to a trading post, rather than doing it all next turn instead. That's probably the better way of doing it, actually, now I come to think about it. So yeah, what we'll do then is we'll spend our QIC, our second one we have, to increase our range, and we'll go for, which is a likely location, this one probably. I don't think it matters too much. We're probably going to get to all the relevant locations soon anyway. So yeah, we'll go with this one. So that's our intended destination, and we will plonk a mine out there. So to terraform is going to require 3 ore down to 2, and then the mine itself is going to require 1 ore and 2 gold, and we get to place a mine out like so, and that is going to give us 2 bonus points for the 1 terraform. So not too many, but at least it's better than nothing. And then that mine can just sit there until possibly next turn, where it can get upgraded to a trading post. Okay, so we'll do that. Over to the AI, who is going to draw 2 cards, and then it's going to do a faction action. So this symbol here basically means you check the faction card for whichever AI faction you have, and you do the relevant action. So in the case of the Geodans, it's going to do a research upgrade, it's going to block off an action spot, and it's going to grab itself a point. So we can certainly give it a point straight away. And then the upgrade, so the research action it's going to do is, as per the support card, 4 from the right. So if we check, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. and then that will just go up 1. And again with the action spaces, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 from the right, so block off that one. So it doesn't get anything from that action, but it just basically means if you wanted to go and do that action later on, you would unfortunately be out of luck. But I don't believe we were going to do that, so that's fine. And then that is the AI turn, which means we get to do... Well, if we could possibly build another mine, we'd have just about enough resources to be able to build a mine. But we have nowhere near enough ore to do so. So ore is really, it's really cramping our style here. Yeah, pretty much. Again, we could sacrifice 2 power and get 2 into bowl 3 and then get a couple of gold from it, but that's not too much at all, to be honest. So we'll probably pass then. That was a very short round. Well, okay, fair enough. So we'll pass. We'll maintain first. We will grab as a booster something with some ore on it, I think. Probably this one, which will get us points at the end for mines. I don't think we'll have too many after we upgrade some into trading posts, but at least we'll get some points out of it. Or we could get a couple of extra power into our bowls as an income action. Well, the power's not really going around anyway as it is, so I think we'll probably just get maybe some points from mines. Yeah? Yeah, okay, we'll do that, we'll see. So that's one we grabbed. Other one will go back to the right. And we have passed. Back to the area who will carry on going. Yeah, very short round indeed. So it's going to do an upgrade. It can now achieve its Planetary Institute as a preferred upgrade, so we'll certainly do that. And that will swap out this trading post for Planetary Institute. Now, unfortunately, the top tier building that is technically next to, within the radius of 2 basically, is our trading post, and it's a level 2. So basically we can get 2 power because of the opponent upgrade, but it will cost us a victory point. I don't really see the point in pushing 2 power round. Even though we've passed, we still get to push it round, but it wouldn't achieve that much, I don't believe, and I don't want to give up I don't want to give up a point to do so. So we'll leave it for the time being. So that was the AI action anyway, and it will grab a victory point for that. And then we have passed, so it just carries on doing stuff basically. And it is going to highest level upgrade on the research tracks, which is going to be this one, and a further point. And then it's going to another upgrade. Okay, so it can certainly do a mine to a trading post, so it will do that. It has, well, just the one it can do, so that solves itself. And we do have a mine that is within the range of 2, which will give us a point for free, so we'll certainly grab that, and we'll get 1 point going round, or 1 power going round for no victory points. And the AI needs a further victory point for that card as well. And still going, and hopefully it'll be kind enough to pass now. Yes, excellent. Very helpful there. So again, red X means it just passes when it reaches the bottom 3 cards. If it was a green, if it was a green green light, then it would basically carry on doing actions until it either meets a red X, or you run out of cards in total, and then obviously if it can do no further actions, it will pass as well. So it did pass early. Looking at the round bonus then, it's going to be 4 points, blimey. That's very optimistic. 4 points in round 2 for passing for the AI. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so slightly there, not too bad. It's going to pick again the middle booster from the pile, so that one will come out and place its other one to the right. And then we need to just reset up the deck for round 3. So another quick shuffle. So this round we will get bonus points if we build trading posts. So ideally we want to see at least, I think we can probably get 2 out, maybe. So we're probably going to get 2 out and we'll get 6 bonus points in total for that, so that's not too bad. And that will set us up well for the future, at least in terms of gold income, if nothing else. So that is the AI done. And then we do again a Gaia phase we can skip because we have no formers out and we have no power in the Gaia ball to move out. So we can skip that, go on to income where we're going to get 4 ore, so that's not too bad. 3 more money, 1, 2, 3, and 2 knowledge, up to 6. That's at least enough for a research upgrade with the knowledge there. So cool. And then we get the first action, and I did say we want to build trading posts, so sure, we'll do that. So it's going to cost at least 2 ore. Well, okay, let's have a quick think. So we have 5 ore, and this will be enough to do 2 trading posts, which will cost 4 ore, and then we basically have an ore left over. Right, and not a lot of place to do with it. If we had a silver planet next to us, we could use that extra ore and some money to just put out a mine straight away, but we don't have anything like that, so we'd have to terraform, which would basically cost even more ore. And we are short on ore. If we had a QIC, we could spend it to basically place out onto a Gaia planet, and that wouldn't require any ore either. Unfortunately, the only way you're realistically going to get a QIC is either spending power to do so, or by moving up on a particular research track and getting a QIC as a bonus resource. And if we use our knowledge to move up this particular research track to get us the extra range we need, we would then not get the QIC that we need. Okay, so I think the range is probably more beneficial at the moment. We can always do the QIC later on, possibly. So, okay, what we will do then is we will spend 4 knowledge and, well, no, actually, what we'll do is we'll take that back slightly. We won't spend the 4 knowledge just yet. We can hold off on that, I think, for the time being. We will do the mine to trading post upgrade. 2, 3. We have a mine which is within a range of 2 of opponent buildings, so that will cost less gold to do that upgrade. And we can plonk out this trading post. So now the AI, if it bothered with power, could get some power back as an option, but it does not. And we do get 3 points as per the round bonus, so we'll quite happily get 1, 2, 3 points there. And over to the AI, which is going to upgrade. So it really likes this upgrade. Okay, so what's it going to do now then? So Planetary Institute is done with. Trading posts are done with. It can do, so as a last option, it can do a trading post into a research lab. So it will definitely do that then. So a singular trading post into a research lab, so it eliminates all possible options there. And again, we could get 2 power going round for a point. Huh. This might not be a bad time to do it, actually. If we push round 2 power, like so. Then on a future turn we could sacrifice 2 power and get a further 2 round, and that would give us 4 power. Now 4 power would get us a QIC. Yeah, 4 power would indeed get us a QIC. Or we could use 4 power to get 2 ore, 7 money, or 2 knowledge. A further 2 knowledge would give us 8 knowledge, and that would be 2 research track upgrades. Well, either way, I like the options. This should have come off at the end of last round, and I forgot. So we will indeed push 2 power around, and we will sacrifice 1 victory point in order to do it. I think the benefits outweigh the victory point in this case. So that was all that. The AI needs to grab a point for upgrading, and then back to us. So now we certainly can sacrifice 2 power. It will unfortunately go out of our bowls, but I don't think we're going to be using it for much else at the moment, and push 2 power around. So that was a free action basically, and now we have 4 power that we can spend to, well, again, grab a QIC, 2 ore, which is nice, but not primarily what we're going for, I think. 7 money, we have plenty of money at the moment, so that's not an option. Or 2 knowledge. I do like the extra knowledge being converted then into an extra research track upgrade. So we'd have 2 research track upgrades basically, one of which is definitely going to be a range increase, one of which could be a QIC increase, or another couple of ore, and that would get us very close to being able to terraform for only 2 ore. Well, either way, I think we'll definitely do that particular option, and we'll get the 2 knowledge. So an action in itself is to do one of those ones at the bottom of the row there. So we'll spend 4 power back into ball 1, and we'll get... Oh, I managed to have... Oh, that's a shame. I managed to have completely miscounted my knowledge levels, even though it blatantly says 5. So an extra 2 would only give us 7. So we would not have the required knowledge. Oh dear. We would not have the required knowledge to do 2 track increases. Well, alright, fair enough then. We won't do that particular action. What we will do then is, as a free action, turn 4 power into a QIC. And we'll do that. And then that was all still free actions, so then we'll spend 4 knowledge to increase our range there on that track. So that's fine. So, yep, a bit of a failed mass attempt on my part, but there we go. Back to the AI, which is going to increase its highest track again. So it's probably going to be doing this every single round now. So this is going to keep shooting up basically, like so. Shouldn't cause us too many problems because we're not high enough up on that track really to compete with the AI. So that's okay, it can carry on doing that, and it'll get a further point. Like so. Back to us, and we now have a range of 2, rather than a range of 1, so we can quite happily skip around all over the place, relatively speaking. I think what we're going to do is probably another mine into a trading post, just to cash in on those bonus points. So this one will again cost 2 ore, and now it will be 6 gold, down to 5, really? Blimey, okay. Yep, because this particular mine is now no longer within 2 spaces of the nearest opponent building. So, a bit of a shame, but we will get the gold back in quite handily with income, so that shouldn't be a problem. So we'll do that, and this mine goes back, and it should have come from there like that. Okay, and we get a further 3 points as bonuses from the round bonus. 2, 3. So all in all, not too bad. The AI is going to upgrade a research track, and it's 2 from the right, no, 2 from the left, sorry, which is going to be this one. So that's that, and no points. Excellent, that's what I'd like to see. Back to us, and we have that QIC now. So basically with our range of 2, which is probably going to be this one then, we can go across to a Gaia planet and spend the QIC as basically the terraforming cost to terraform that Gaia planet and place out a mine. So that is going to be 2 gold and our remaining ore, which is fine, and we get that mine out, which can then generate that ore back again. So good. Okay, so that was an action. And the AI is going to block off an action space, 4 from the left, so 1, 2, 3, 4, like so, and a further point. And back to us, and we have power all being used up, resources practically all being used up, so that's fine. So probably passing now, I think. Yep, okay, so we'll pass. We want, I think, this bonus. Even though if we took this one, we get a point at the end of the round for being on a Gaia planet. This one will give us an extra in ore, which is always nice, and an extra knowledge. Combined with the 2 we're going to get from this income, and the one we already have, will give us 4 knowledge in total to be a knowledge upgrade, or research track upgrade. If we built, or if we took this one instead, then at the end of the round we get 4 points if we had a research institute or an academy out. Well, 4 points for every research institute and academy out. And the bonus for next round is when you build a research, an academy institute, you get 5 points. So those kind of go well together, but this is going to sit around regardless, so we can probably get 4 points at some point for having it, so I'm not too worried about that. So yeah, I think we'll go for this round booster, which will get us the extra knowledge, which will translate into a research track increase. So sure, we'll grab that one. This one can go back, and we get a point for every mine we have out, and we have 2 mines, really? Only? Okay, fair enough. So 2 points. I suppose better than no points. So 1, 2. So that is that. And we pass to the AI, so it's going to carry on. Upgrading. So it can now do research lab into an academy, I believe. Yep. So it will do that. Oh dear, I think that was there for the points. Okay. So that will go there then for the AI. And it's going to get a further point for that. And we could get 2 power going round for the cost of 1 point. No, I don't believe so. We'll leave it for the time being. I'm sure it will upgrade or build next to us in future. We can possibly look at power options then if we need to. So that was that for the AI. And nope, it's going to carry on. So green light on the bottom 3 cards means it carries on. And it's going to do a research track increase. 2 from the left. So this one will go up. So it's definitely going to get bonus points at the end of the game for research tracks. That's not good. And a further 2 points from the card. And then it carries on, and hopefully it will pass now. Nope, it's going to do a faction action. So a random track increase, 5 from the left. 2, 3, 4, 5, so this one goes up. And then an action being taken, again 5 from the left will be 1, 2, 3, and you skip over ones that have been already taken, and simply carry on going. So 4, 5. So let's move all of these over here instead. So that one. And then a point for faction action. And hopefully it'll pass now. Yep, okay, so that was fortunate. It didn't get 3 points for building. It will just pass now. So no action, no points, but it will still get 3 points for being in end of round 3. Okay, so 3 points from the round bonus tile. So 1, 2, 3. And then this card means it takes the middle round booster. And this one goes back. And then we need to just redo the AI deck. So all these come up together, along with an extra one there. And right, so this round, we're going to get bonus points if we build a research institute, sorry, a planetary institute or a academy. I'm going to say the planetary institute might be doable. We might be able to get enough ore to be able to do that, but that would pretty much use all our ore up. Still, it's probably worth it. I'll have to see. So that is the AI deck redone. And again, no Gaia phase, so we're quite good at not doing the Gaia phase whatsoever this game, fair enough. We do probably need to take a quick look at end of game objectives though. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings up to there. The AI is still at 2, it hasn't actually built any, and because it hasn't built any, it does not have any satellites out. So when the AI places a new mine out as part of an action, it will then do a random satellite somewhere next to the mine, and that's how it gets satellites out for end of game scoring. Doesn't take into account federations because the AI does not bother with federations whatsoever. And we haven't got any satellites out because we have not done any federations at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. We might actually be able to do a federation this turn. That would be very handy, in fact. Yeah, we might actually look at doing a federation this turn as well. Okay, well, we'll have to see. So, Gaia phase done. We need the income phase now. And we have, so 1 ore plus a further 3 is 4 ore in total. Then 1 knowledge plus a further 2 is 3 knowledge in total, up to 4. And then we have a bunch of gold, 8, 11, I believe. So 14. So that should be enough to finance a couple of rounds anyway. And we get to go first because we have the first player marker. Well, we definitely have enough resources to just about build our planetary institute. And I think it's probably worth doing. Failing that, we could build a research lab. And this would grab us a tech tile, but not a whole lot else because we'd use up all our resources. Although with the tech tile, what could we get from a tech tile? So when you do a research lab or an academy, you get to grab one of these tech tiles. If you grab the bottom 3 ones here, you get to move up any research track. If you grab one of these top 6 here, you move up the corresponding research track. So we could grab a tech tile which would give us some stuff, and also move up a track which potentially also would give us some stuff. This one would be an ore and a QIC, and we could probably move up maybe this track, which would be another further 2 ore. Anything else looks like it's going to be pretty much income for the next round then. I do like the idea of, however, building the Planetary Institute now for the bonus points, although if we hold off one further round, the next round will also give us points for building the Planetary Institute. So maybe it is worth now doing the Academy. We could do it, yeah. And I mean, we're not tied into round bonuses for building a federation, so we could essentially build the federation whenever we like as well. So yeah, okay. Instead of the Planetary Institute, then we'll build a research lab. So it's going to be 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 gold and 3 ore, down to 1, and we get to replace one of our trading posts with a research lab. Probably this one. It doesn't particularly matter, I don't believe, so we'll do that. And then this research lab will go back, trading post will go back. So that will now give us a tactile we can grab. Well, I'd like the idea of possibly grabbing this one, which gives us a knowledge. Although that would boost us up on this track, which gives us a Gaia format, and we're not going to be able to make best use of that at the moment, I don't believe. So failing that, well, this would be extra ore and power going around as an income. I don't think we're going to be able to build many more mines on Gaia planets to take advantage of extra 3 points for that one. Could just get 7 points, to be honest, and then a further 2 ore. That might not be the worst thing in the world. I do like the idea of extra income, though. I'm always a sucker for income generally in games. Decisions. Well, power is probably not going to help us, so we can ignore those ones. I don't think we're going to get out on many more planet types, so we can probably ignore that one, although that would be useful for getting knowledge. I think possibly we'll grab this. It's not income, so potentially a bit wasteful. It is a QIC, however, so we might be able to get onto another Gaia planet at some point. And it's an ore straight away, which is always useful. And it does mean we can move up any track of our choice. So we'll grab this one. We'll get the 1 ore, we'll get the 1 QIC. And then we can move up a track of our choice, and I think we're going to get a knowledge increase as it is. Excuse me a second. We're going to get a knowledge increase as it is because we have 4 knowledge, so we can channel that into a research upgrade. So we're going to get basically 2 of our choice into this rate, 1 from this tactile and then 1 from the 4 knowledge later on. So what track do we want to move up 2 in? We can move up 2 in this one and get a range of 3. A range of 3 would not be sufficient to... Well, we could boost it with a QIC and make it a range of 5 even, and that would probably be enough to get out to these planets here, or this one over here. But even so, once we're there, there's not a whole lot we can do. 2 increases up here would get us an extra 2 ore, and we'd be able to terraform for any 2 ore. And then a further increase would mean we could terraform for any 1 ore. So maybe this track then, actually, or some extra income might be not the worst thing in the world, especially if it's knowledge income. Actually, yes. We'll do this one first, and we'll grab 2 ore from that one. So that will just give us 2 ore straight up. So that was our action complete, was it? We upgraded to a research lab, We got the tech tile from it, we got the bonuses from the tech tile, and then we upgraded a relevant track with the tech tile. Yeah, okay. If you don't have other players keeping you straight on what your actions are, you can find they run away from you with all the thinking you have to go through. But I think we're straight on that, and that should be fine. Okay, so over to the AI, and it will block off an action. So again, these should have come off, and I forgot to do so at the end of the round. So 4 from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will, not us, the AI, that'll give it a point. Okay. So back to us, and we have a knowledge increase, knowledge spend we can do to increase a research track, and I think probably this one, just to give us extra knowledge on the income, will be very handy, because that is 1 knowledge now on the income, plus 3 here will be 4. So basically we'll be able to do a knowledge spend into a research track every round now, which is quite handy. And then back to the AI, which is going to finally do a new build. Okay, so it's going to build a mine, and ideally it wants to build onto orange planets if it has the range. So its range is 2. The range for the AI always goes off the support card. It never bothers with what the relevant tech tracks say its range is. So it's a range of 2, and it wants to try and build onto orange first. And there certainly is an orange within 2 range. Yep. Yeah, okay. So that being the only one means it's the only priority. So it will build onto there with its range of 2. And then when it builds a new mine, it will place out a satellite in a space of your choice around the mine, and you can just place it wherever you like. So that is good. Okay, that's fine there, and it's going to get a point for doing that. Part of the ongoing ability for the Geodons is when they build onto new planet types, they get a further 2 points. However, orange is still its existing planet type, so it will not get 2 points for that. But next time it builds, it will definitely get 2 points for a new planet type. Okay, fine. So back to us, and we have... Did I don't think I spent the ore for building the research lab. 14. I'm pretty sure I spent the money. I think the money is correct. I don't believe I spent the ore, though, because I'm pretty sure we were at 4 at the start of it. And we've got... Did I give us an ore as well? Okay, so now I'm completely lost, unfortunately. Well, this can happen. I think we should be at 1 there for spending the ore, and possibly an extra 1 from the tech track. Yeah, like I said, unless you have other people helping you out with keeping you straight in this game, your mind can run away from you quite rapidly. I believe that is now correct. If not, by all means let me know in the comments, and hopefully it won't skew the game too much. Okay, so we don't have much ore with which to do stuff. No, that is right, isn't it? Yeah, I definitely did spend the ore, because we got 1 back from that, and we also got 2 back from that track increase up there. So that should be now satisfactory. I'm going to go with yes, that is actually where it should be. So, okay, that should be fine now. Blimey. Lot to take into account. Right, so we have 4 ore and 9 money. So actually we could very well also build the Planetary Institute. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't, to be honest. It would spend a lot of money and it would spend a lot of ore. We could always build actually a second research lab and just go crazy on those and get even more tech tiles and track increases. Yeah, why not? Fair enough. Okay, so that's going to be another 5 money down to 4, and 3 ore down to 1. And that would actually leave us with enough to build a mine if possible. We have a QIC, so we could place it out onto a Gaia planet. Okay, that's something to look to anyway. So, another research lab onto a trading post location, so maybe that one will go with, and then that can go back, so we might have to look at doing something about money then. So that was the research lab. We get another tech tile. Can't pick the same one twice, and just to reinforce this, I've basically taken out all of the tech tiles except one. So basically, once you grab a tech tile, that is it. You are only limited to that particular one type once. So you can't grab the same one twice, which is fine. We can grab other stuff. Well, we might actually then go for this one to get income going up, or actually this one then, which would get income, and we could push the income one up as well. Yeah, we'll go for that. So we'll grab that tech tile, which is income at the next income phase, and we could try pushing this track up for even more income, or we could go for even more knowledge. Actually, yes, I think even more knowledge might be a better idea. Well, we're going to get 1 knowledge anyway, and we're going to get 2, 3, 4, so 5 in total. So definitely another knowledge increase next round, or possibly 6 knowledge, which would be, well, still only the 1 knowledge increase. Failing that, what else could we go for? Well, we could push ourselves up on one of these tracks, which would get us a QIC. That's always handy. I think we're quite happy holding off on this one for the time being, because we can always do that next turn when we have the ore to spend to terraform, so that can wait a bit. Probably the QIC. So we'll go for this one. This will push us up into end of game scoring territory for that research track anyway, and we get 3 power round because we've crossed this particular threshold, and we'll get a QIC as a income, or as a bonus, sorry. So QIC, 3 power round, not that it particularly matters to be honest, but at least it's there anyway. Good, okay. So that was all that. Carrying on with the AI. It is going to push up a research track, so 4 from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. For 2 points. Okay. And then we can certainly build a mine out with a QIC. Is it actually worth it though? Even if we place out 1 more mine, we're not going to get enough spaces uncovered that we're going to get more more income, sorry. So we could just hold off on the QICs and save them. Yep, and we don't have enough resources to build anything else apart from a mine. We could trade a QIC for 1 ore, and then we could spend that ore and some money on upgrading a mine to a trading post. It would cost 6 money though, because the only mines we have left are these ones out here, which are not close enough to get the reduced cost bonus. Right. So can we get 2 more money? Well, we could give up another QIC and get another coin from that, and we could sacrifice a power and get a power round and get another coin. So essentially, yes, if we go up a lot of stuff, we could get the resources and get another trading post out. I don't believe that's worth it though. So no, we'll hold off on the time being and we'll save our stuff for next round. So yeah, we will pass and we will grab, well, we're likely to possibly be on 2 Gaia planets next round. so we'll get 2 points, and the extra money is always nice, I believe. I think we're going to get enough income from ore. Although the extra power coming in would be beneficial for building a federation. Although I think we have sufficient at the moment. I'm going to go with this one and we'll see if it works out in the end. So we'll grab that booster, and then this one can go back. Okay, over to the AI, which is going to carry on doing lots of actions, I believe. Accumulating a bunch of points, unfortunately. So new mine build. So it's exhausted all its preferential options, which are orange planets. So now it wants to go for, in the particular colour hierarchy, Gaia planets, red or yellow, because it always wants to try and do planets which are the least terraforming steps available. So its range is 2. So basically within 2 range, does it have green, red or yellow? Well, that is a range of 2. That is also a range of 2, and that is a range of 3. So 2 locations it has options for. And then it goes, which one is closest to us? So this one, I believe, is definitely, easily closest to our buildings compared to that one. So it will plonk a mine out there as a preferred option. So mine out, action gets 3 points. 1, 2, 3. The ongoing ability is a further 2 points for a new location colonization, and red planets are new to the AI, so that's a further 2 points there. Right, so we have passed, so the AI keeps going. So it's going to be 1 from the right for blocking off an action. Straightforward, and 3 points, blimey. 1, 2, 3. So this is where, once the AI gets these cards into its deck, it can start screaming ahead on points. And then a faction action. So 3 from the right, and it's going to do an upgrade, or a tech track, sorry. 2, 3, yep. And then it's going to block off an action. 1, 2, 3. And it's going to get a point. 1 point. So now it's going to be kind enough to pass. Excellent. Very considerate. So no further actions, no further points. And it will get, so we are now in round 4, so it's going to get 5 points from this bonus. So unfortunately, 2, 3, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. We know it's going to get a further 5 points from the next one, and we know it's going to get a further 4 points from the one after that. So you can kind of predict what points it's going to get, at least from the round bonuses. It does look like it's running away with the game somewhat. Okay. We'll have to see if we can bring that back with Federation points, maybe. Right, so it's going to get the middle round booster, which is fine. Unfortunately, that means unless it passes first, we're not going to have this one for next round. Well, it's going to come back at some point, so we'll try and grab it then. And then we need to reset the deck, so all the cards go in, and a further 1 from the stack. So next round we want to try and build definitely a Planetary Institute for those bonus points, and maybe a Federation. I'll cobble together one of those for points there. Okay, and it might be worth saving up some knowledge for the round after that, because then research track increases get us bonus points. So we have some knowledge we're going to get from income. If we can start saving up for the final round when we get points from research track increases, that might be worth it. Okay, we shall have to see. So then, we get to go first, and we are going to get... Right, so no Gaia phase again. We're doing quite well on ignoring that. Income-wise, we get 2, 3, 4, and then 5 from the research tracks. So a total of 5 knowledge. Good. 4 money, plus 3. yep, is 7. So up to 11, that should be sufficient money. And then one ore plus a further 3 is 4 in total, so 5 ore. And we get a power going round. Good. And that should be everything. Yep, okay. So I think our first action then is going to be to plonk out our Planetary Institute. So it's going to cost 6 money, down to 5, and 4 ore, down to 1. Right. And then we can place this out where we have a trading post, so that one will get exchanged. Yep, okay. And then we get to unlock some extra income, which is always quite nice, but more importantly our faction special ability, which in the case of the Firax is you can exchange a research lab back into a trading post and increase a knowledge check of your choice. So that is quite handy actually. We may very well do that just to get some extra gold income and also to bump up a check of our choice. So we'll see. Anyway, so that goes out, and as per the bonus we get 5 points. So 25. Not all is lost then. Well, AI is going to build another mine, so again it's looking now for green, red or yellow, and red, this one is still the, what's the range? Range of 2, so red is, this one is still the one within range. Yep, okay, so plonk a mine out there. It again is not a new planet type, so it won't get the 2 bonus points. And I have been forgetting that it should have a satellite for this mine placement, and then a satellite for this one. So I did forget to do that, so that should be fine now. And 1 point from the card. Right, so back to us then, and I think now we could probably do a federation. Although, is it worth holding off? If we hold off one more turn until the final round to do a federation, we have 4 power in our bowls. As part of our Planetary Institute being placed out, we now have 4 power income going round. So that will all shift round. So we're going to get 4 power, we can then spend 4 power, and then we can sacrifice all that power for satellites, rather than sacrificing it now and then not being able to push it around and get use of it. So if we hold off on a federation just yet, and we wait until next round, the points, we're not going to get bonus points of federations now rather than later, so the points will still be the same. It just means we won't have the resources now to use rather than later. So is there something we definitely want resource-wise that is more beneficial now rather than holding off a turn or a round? Well, 12 points is still 12 points, so basically... Well, the QIC might be pretty handy next round as well, actually. I think the only thing we might possibly want this round is 2 ore. Which would mean we then get 3 ore, and we could use 3 ore to do something. 3 ore and 5 money would actually be able to place out our last... also place out another research lab and get another tech tile for it. Alright, so if we get another tech tile, which one would we like then? Well, 7 points is always quite handy, especially with the point deficit we're at the moment. And that would push up that one, which means we get a terraforming possibility. To be honest, I don't think there's a necessary need to stick out a federation just yet. I think we can hold off possibly one more round. So we might do that and save it all for the final round. Okay, so whether or not that will come back to bite me, I don't know, but we'll see. So if we don't do anything then, I believe the only thing we probably can do is use QIC to form onto a Gaia planet and place a mine out. Now that would get us an extra point for this particular end of round scoring, but it wouldn't get any more income because we wouldn't again cross the threshold needed for mines. And I think holding off another turn and saving our QICs is again probably more beneficial for next round. Yeah, I think it's all going to have to wait till next round. Yeah, even the knowledge, because again when we do knowledge increases we're going to get 2 points for it next round, so we could hold off then. Well, okay then, so all to do next round then. Alright, so fair enough. So we will pass now and maintain first marker. It was likely we were going to pass before the AI ran out of things to do anyway with its deck of cards, that's fine. So we need a new one of these. Well, this one would get 4 power going round, but that's going to be a bit of a waste now, I suspect. But it would mean we get 4 points when we pass for having at least a planetary institute out. Or we would get points for mines and some more ore, or more knowledge. Oh, knowledge is always good. So 1 knowledge there, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the tech track would bring us up to 10. That is unfortunately not another knowledge increase. It's on a multiple of 4. Can we get 2 knowledge from somewhere? Well, we have a Federation tile we could build which would get us 2 knowledge. But I think the QIC has been more important for that one. Maybe just the 4 points then from this round booster. Yes, and a bit of wasted power. Or a couple of points. Well, I think probably the 4 points from this round booster. Yeah, I think we're probably going to try and throw everything into points for the final round and see how we go, basically. Okay, so we'll grab this one. We will get a point for this one coming back because we are on 1 Gaia planet. And that is that. So a further point, and now the AI is going to increase its lead even more dramatically. More dramatically even. Right, so upgrading. Let's see. Yep, it can definitely upgrade a mine to a trading post. So we'll do that. Now then, which one is it going to do? This one is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it has 2 mines which are the same distance away from our current location. So either of these, and the directional indicator says bottom to top, right to left. So this one first then. Okay. Once you get the hang of what the iconography is for the AI cards, you can pretty much plot out their actions very quickly, and it's quite easy to do so. So that will get upgraded. We are not within range to push power around, not that we probably would do so even if we were, so that's fine. And it's going to get a point for the action. That. So again a further increase. Right, so this is the highest track for the AI. When it is in space 4 and it wants to move up to space 5, it will first of all take out the advanced tech tile and just basically push it out the game so that you can't get it if you are inclined to do so. Then once the space is free, it will then move from 4 to 5 on a subsequent track increase of that particular one. That is fine. I don't believe we were ever going to make use of that or get up there to grab it anyway, so that's fine, it can do that. And it can get itself a point, unfortunately. Blocking off an action 2 from the left. Again, I believe these should have come off. I haven't been Yeah, I haven't been taking this into account whatsoever, unfortunately, but these should reset basically at the end of every round. So 2 from the left will be this one, and 3 points. So this is definitely where the AI increases all its points. 3 from the right now, and a further point. 2, 3, yep, and a further point. Okay. Well, we know it's got a number of action blockers in its deck. So if we're going to make use of an action with our QICs, and I think we're probably going to go for this one if we get sufficient QICs, then we might want to try doing it sooner rather than later, just in case. And then again another mine into a trading post. Yep, preferred option, so that's fine. This one, as the remaining one from the last turn, or last time it did it, will be the preferred action this turn, so that's that one. And 1 point. Okay, so yep, we are sufficiently up to date on satellites and buildings, that's fine. I will have to check the totals all together to see what they are in just a second. And then a new mine build, and 3 points. So, still green, red or yellow. And it's a range of 4. Okay, so that might change things then. So, red, yellow within 4, green within 4, red within 4, yellow within 4. That yellow is within 4. So pretty much this area then is going to be all preferred options. And the closest one to us is either this yellow or this yellow. That would be it. So directional indicator says top to bottom, left to right. So this yellow then gets the tie broken in that favour. So that is where the mine goes. And we need a satellite. And we could move round 2 power and pay a point to do so, but I don't think it's worth it, so I'll leave that out. And the AI gets 3 points for that card. 2, 3. This is not so good. Okay, so now if the AI will be kind enough to pass, nope. So 1 from the right, which is just this one, and a further 2 points. So all the points now. Still not passing. More mines. Right, okay. So another mine out. Oops, well, okay, I'll grab that in a second. Another mine out. And this yellow, again, is the one that was left over from the last option, will now be the preferred option. So that is that, and a further satellite. And I believe I forgot to give the AI 2 points last time for being onto a new planet type, i.e. yellow, so I will give it 2 points this time for being onto a new planet type, i.e. yellow. So 3 points from the card, and then 2 points which it should have gotten. So there we go, 5 points. And please now pass. No? Okay, well, it's going to do 1 from the right. So this option then for a track increase, but it's going to get no points. So, well, fair enough. And then it will now pass because it has run out of options to do. So that is okay. The final card with the round booster says it's the one furthest to the right, so it will grab this particular round booster. Place that one back. The round bonus says 5 points for the AI in round 5. So another 5, blimey. Well, I don't think we're going to get 45 points worth by the end of the game, but I could be mistaken. We shall see. And then a final deck configuration for the AI. And I'll grab that extraneous mine. So this round we get bonuses for knowledge increases. So we'll definitely try and do a couple of those at least and get some points for it. We want to get at least one federation. I think one is going to be our limit, unfortunately. And try and make up some points somewhere else along the way. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get a fair amount of points, but unfortunately, as I said, I don't think we're going to get 45 points worth of points. But anyway, so we'll take a quick stock of end of game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 satellites for the AI. Yep, that seems about right. So up there. And then buildings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for us. And 6 for the AI. So 5, 4, yeah. So unfortunately we are not doing too well on end of game bonuses either. Well, if you're going to fail, you may as well fail all over the board. Okay. So no Gaia phase. We are adamant that we are not going to actually play the game to the benefit of the full phases. So that is okay. Income, we're going to get, so 1 knowledge from tech track increases, and then a further 4 up to 10. Yep. And where else are we going to get? Ore. So 4 ore in total, up to 5, and no money. Oh, that was... okay. So we only have 5 money. Well, that should still be sufficient, I think. 1 power going round. So we'll save the power going round. There are several ways you can do power, or any basic... well, power is the most obvious you can manipulate. It's basically your choice of whether you put power in first or move power round first. Either way you want to do it. So we will definitely move the 4 power round first to get that all shifted across. Then we will put the power in, and then we can actually carry on moving it round with these ones. So it will just all go round. As long as you don't split up the icons, so we couldn't move 2 power round and then do something else and then do a further 2 power round with this one. You have to do an icon in its entirety all at once before you go on to something else. But that is fine. So that is all our income. Okay, and then we get to go first. So I think now it's definitely research time. No, I did say Federation time just in case the AI gets to do the QIC action we wanted to do. So we will build a Federation. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 powers worth of buildings in this particular area, as per the chart, which shows you what you've got. So we will definitely do that, and we have to join them up because they are not directly adjacent to one another. So we have to place out satellites, 1 there, 2, 3, 4, so it's going to be 4 either way to build them, to match them all together. Yep, okay. And you have to sacrifice the power for each satellite you place out. So 4 power for 4 satellites. And we are finally on the satellite track, like so. Then we get a Federation tile, and you can choose your tile from down here. And I think we'll grab the one which is 8 points and a QIC. So all of them will be a number of points, and then possibly a one-time only income or bonus. So QIC and 8 points. 26 to 34. So, okay, some points there. And then building a Federation is an action in itself, so that is now done with, and we're over to the AI to start accumulating even more points. Building a mine, yep, okay. So it wants green, red, or yellow. Now, red is within the range of 2 that we're now looking at, so that one there, yellow over there. Yep, just those 2. And closest to us would be, well, they're equally 2 spaces away. So, directional indicator says bottom to top, right to left. So this one. It's a planet type that is already within the AI's existing planet type, so no bonus points. It does need another satellite. And unfortunately, the highest level building within the range of 2 of this new building is our Planetary Institute. So that is the one that takes preferential treatment when it comes to getting the power bonus. So we could get 3 power round in exchange for a point. Damn it, I have done the power wrong. I forgot to actually spend it before I shunted it all out of my bowls to make the Federation. I should have spent it on, well, something worthwhile, basically. Rather than... yeah, okay. So these should have come off. And we would have had 4 power, which could have been, well, 2 more knowledge would have actually been another... well, that is what happens when you are not paying attention. So, you know, take note. Don't mess up as horrendously as that. I could go back and do it again, but I'm not going to. Mistakes were made. I will have to learn from them. So, anyway, back to the previous point. We could get 3 power going round for the cost of 2 points, but it is definitely not worthwhile doing that. So we will not do that. And it's going to get 3 points from the card. 1, 2, 3. Well, yeah, we could have done that, but I think even so, the minuscule amount of points we may have gotten from it would not be enough to bridge this horrendous points lead the AI is gaining. So anyway, back to us then, and we have 3 QICs, so we will definitely spend them in a QIC action. This one here, and that QIC action is basically you rescore a Federation tile. So we're going to get this one rescored for another 8 points and another QIC bonus. So excellent. So 34 to 42. Okay, up there. And then that was all that done. So back to the AI. It may have taken off those QIs, those actions before we got to them, which is why I was in quite such a hurry to do so, at the expense of actually thinking ahead. But anyway, and then one from the right, track upgrade, so it's going to get even more bonus points for that one at the end of the game, and no points, fortunately. Back to us, and we have, well, I think what we're going to do is we'll do our bonus action as per the Planetary Institute, which is convert a research lab back into a trading post. So we'll do that. Doesn't particularly matter which one, I suspect. And an advantage of that is we get to move up a track of our choice. So if we try and go for, well, I think this one would be worthwhile. Yeah, so we'll do that, and hopefully get some extra points coming out of that in the next action we do. Meanwhile, the AI is going to mine place. So this one now, I suspect, is the closest in the preferred band. Range is 2 still, as per the card. So, yep, okay, that one. Not a new type for the AI, but it is going to be another mine, and it is going to be another 3 points. Okay. And then if we... yeah, okay. So with the new trading post we have now out, as per the previous action, we can actually go out and build another research lab, which will be 5 money and 3 ore. So we can plonk this back out onto location. And we will get another tile, another tech tile. And I think this one is probably beneficial because it will be 7 points, which we kind of need. But more importantly, well, as importantly I suppose, it will boost this one up for bonus points at the end of the game, like so. So we will get 7 points anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent. Not too shabby. And then the AI is going to upgrade. So I suspect it can definitely do a mine to a trading post. And the closest ones to us will be this one here or this one here. Yep. So directional indicator is bottom to top, right to left. So this one. Yep. And again, there's no point doing the power and spending victory points for it, so we'll skip that out because we only have 1 power left in our bowls, so it's not worth it at all. Right, and it's going to get a point from the card. Okay, so now, what actions do we have left? Oh, we have knowledge increases. So we're going to spend 4 of them. And basically we probably want to push this one up just so we get over the line to get bonus points there. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So basically push this one up there. Everything else is not going to give us immediate points, I don't believe. Well, actually, saying that, the trouble is, so I'll move that one down a second, we could either push that one up sufficiently in order to get it over the line, or we could place this one up once and get a QIC, but we wouldn't be able to get any others over the line because we don't have enough knowledge increases. If we get a QIC, we could then do this QIC action, which is basically 3 points plus a point for every planet type you are on. So that'll be 3 points plus 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7 in fact. So actually it might be worth doing this one after all. Yeah. Because these will only give you 4 points if you are up in the upper band of the research for end of game scoring. So 7 points to 4 points makes it a kind of an easy option. So yeah, we'll do that instead then. As our track increase, and we'll get the QIC as a bonus. Okay. Yep. Is it worth doing that? Or we could do this maybe and grab this tile possibly, which would be just 5 points, I suspect. Yeah, I think that's probably the better option, to do it with the QIC instead. Okay, so we'll do that as an action. The AI is going to increase a track, 2 from the left, so this one will go up and a further 2 points. Yep. And then we're going to do another knowledge increase, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't suppose it really matters what we do, to be honest. Well, what we'll do first of all, I think, is do as a free action, we'll spend this power and we'll grab ourselves a gold from it, just because we can. Whether that will come into handy, I'm not entirely certain. But now as a knowledge increase, well, unfortunately, no matter which one we push up, we won't get any more power going around. And this is the final knowledge track increase I suspect that we're going to be able to do. So actually we might try this one again, and we'll get another QIC. Now unfortunately, because we blocked off the action, we can't take the same one twice and do scoring the tile again. But we can certainly do this one and maybe use the QIC we have left over for a benefit of some kind. But anyway, let's see what the AI does. Faction action. Been a while since we've seen that. So 5 from the left, knowledge track. 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, and 5 from the left. 1, 2. This one. Okay, and a point. So not the worst thing it could have done. And then we have, so probably now spending 2 QICs to do this action here, and it's 3 points plus 1 for every planet type we're on that's different. So 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it definitely was 4. So a total of 7 points. That is 1, 5, 7. There we go. Right, okay. And then AI is going to block off an action, so this is what I was worried about at the start of the game. Start of the round, sorry, entirely unfounded. It would have blocked off potentially this action and meant we wouldn't have scored it, but it's going to do this one instead. Okay. So back round to us, and we have one QIC, and we can place out probably one mine onto a Gaia planet. Well, the mine might be a bad idea, because if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we can do one more building, that would bring us up to 6 buildings. I think the AI still has this because I haven't been keeping track of its buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's miles ahead on buildings. So it is on 9 buildings. So even if we place a mine out, we're not going to be getting anything from that. Well, we may as well anyway. Oh, and I have realised we should have gotten 4 points from tech track increases for doing 2 of those. In fact, we may have done 3 when we built the research lab. So I think we should be actually 6 points ahead of where we should be, because we did 3 track increases. So actually 4, and then, yep, that should be better. Not that it's probably going to make the slightest bit of difference, but every little helps. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll spend the QIC and go to this Gaia planet and then build a mine with 2, 1 or, well, we can exchange an ore for money, so that ore will become 1 extra money, and then we can spend the 1 ore and the 2 money. So either way it kind of works out, and we get the mine out. Right, which is better than nothing, gives us an extra building at least. And I'm going to put a quick break in here, and be back in a second. And we're back. So we did our turn, I think it's over to the AI now to accumulate some more points probably. So it's going to do an upgrade, and it is going to be a mine into a trading post, so the last trading post it has basically. And there is 1 mine there, which is probably the... Nope, there's the nearest one over there. Yep, that seems to be the closest one to us, so that will go into a trading post. And we could get 2 power in exchange for a point, but again, well, we could push it all the way around, and then we could exchange it for another gold, but there is pretty much no reason to do that, I believe, and certainly no reason to give up a point to do so, so we won't bother with that. And then the AI is going to get a point for that. Right, which means we are probably passing then. So we exhausted at least all our gold and our ore. We have 2 knowledge, but no way of getting an extra 2 knowledge. And no QICs. Nope, okay, so I think we're going to pass. I don't believe there's anything else we can really do, realistically. Which means we won't bother taking a new booster, because obviously the last round, so you're not going to get a benefit from it. We give up this one, and we get 4 points for doing so, because we have the 1 Planetary Institute out on the board. So we get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be everything. So basically it's just over to the AI now to finish up. And it is going to increase its utmost tech track for a point. And I believe... oh, it's got a choice of 2. Okay, so the tiebreak is 1 from the left. So this one will go up. And grab that. So it doesn't have to give up a Federation tile, because it doesn't deal with those, in order to move up to the top space. It does mean, however, once it is up there, that only 1 person can occupy the topmost row, So even if we wanted to come along later on, not that we're going to do so, but if we hypothetically did, then we still couldn't move up there because the AI would have occupied the top row before us. But that is fine. It will not do anything, I believe, with the Federation tile except taking out the game. Interesting. So it doesn't accumulate Federation tiles as normal, but if it grabs this one by moving up to the top row, would it get 6 points? I'm not entirely sure about that, to be honest. I'm going to say no for the time being. If my interpretation is incorrect, then by all means let me know. I don't believe it matters to the AI, to be honest, whether it gets the 6 points or not. I think it's going to wind up with more than enough points anyway, but be interesting to try and figure that out, whether it does get the points for that Federation tile from the top row of that research track. Anyway, still going to get a point for the action, and then still going to carry on with taking over a user action, so 2 from the left, yep, and that is going to be a further 3 points. 2, 3. And it is going to do a final mine build then for a point. So it still wants to try and achieve green, red or yellow within 2 spaces now of its current locations. So I don't believe there are any. So this green is 3 spaces away, so it's out of range, as is that one, as is that one, and this red is 3 spaces away. So the next layer of terraforming options are transdim planets, the purple ones, blue or brown. So purple, blue or brown, and there are a bunch of options. So this transdim is 1 space away from us, as is this transdim. Everything else is at least 2 spaces. Yep. So basically it's a tie between these ones of priority, and the tie break is bottom to top, right to left. So this transdim would come across first, and therefore the air will place out there. So we need a new satellite, and it is a new planet type. Purple does count as a new planet type for the AI, so it's going to get a point for the card and then a further 2 points for the AI ability, for 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then it passes because it has no further cards to do. So it doesn't matter about grabbing a round booster. It's not going to affect it in any way. It will, however, get points from the bonus. So 4 points in the end of round 6. So we need 4 points for the AI. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So everyone has done their actions, ourselves and the AI. So we are finished with the rounds. We now do a final end of game score. We'll do tech tracks first. So both the AI and ourselves will get points for being up above the relevant line. So basically in sections 3, 4 and 5 on each track. So the AI is going to get 1, 2, 3. So 3 scoring, and you get 4 points for being in sections 3, 4 and 5. So it's going to get 12 points. 1, 2, 2, 94, and then 104, like so. And then we are in 2 tracks, so we're going to get 8 points, up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 74. Okay. Then we will do resources. So you will get a point. Is it on your board at all? Nope. Okay, I don't believe so. So basically any resources you have... Oh, it's here. That's fair enough. So 4 points for being in the relevant tech tracks. A point for having multiples of 3 of ore, gold, and knowledge. We do not have a multiple of 3, unfortunately. We are 1 short. so we'll not get a point for that. And then you do end of game scoring as per the random tile, taking into account possible dummy players as well. So let's just check those are correct. The AI has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 satellites. So actually tied with a neutral player there. We have the 4, which we had already, so that's fine. And then building-wise, 1, 2, 3, 9, 10 buildings for the AI. Again, just, oh no, it's one short of being tied with the dummy player. Dummy player has 11. You can determine this by the number on the relevant tile that tells you where the neutral player should go. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Yeah, okay. Have not been paying too much attention to the bonus scoring opportunities whatsoever, I think. Yeah, that is indeed 6. Oh dear. Okay. So, top player gets 18. So in the case of buildings, it would technically be the neutral player. Second place gets 12, so the AI will get 12 points, and we will get 6. So that would be 6, and then that would be 16. So that is that, and we will get 6 up to 80. And then the number of satellites, so tied between the AI and the dummy player, would be 15, I believe, to the AI. So that will get 21 up to 131, and we will get 6 again for being in last place. 86. So, tally up all your bonus scoring, and then you have a final score, and you can see who the winner is. And no surprise, the AI has completely run away with it, bonus points notwithstanding. Yeah, that's fair enough. Mistakes were made, and hopefully will be learnt from. The AI is incredibly good at just turn after turn getting points drip fed to it from these cards, so if you're not keeping on track of those, then it can quite happily rack up quite a number of them. But yeah, that was a solo game of Gaia Project. Any mistakes I made that were particularly noteworthy, by all means point them out in the comments. I'm sure I made a couple where I just completely disregarded the rules entirely, but by all means let me know. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.